Hi guys, my name is Asad Moner and I am a technical pre-sales working for a company called Weblib. Today I will be demonstrating the technical use case of our UCOPIA solution. The purpose of this presentation and demonstration is to give you a better prospect of this solution. Before I begin, just a bit of background of myself. I've come from a technical background, working in various technical roles over the past 11 years now almost. I started working as a technical support engineer before moving into more senior roles within network security, working with and configuring layer 3 devices like firewalls, routers, layer 2, layer 3 switches as well. I have also worked extensively in cybersecurity and cloud for the past few years now. And now I joined Weblib to continue their growth to support their customers to have a secure Wi Fi access, which not only helps their customers interact but also engage with their users to understand their behavior and get to know them better, basically. Our product portfolio consists of four solutions. Each of these solutions provide features that allow our clients to grow their revenue and connect to their customers and employees. These can either be fully cloud based type solutions, on premise, or hybrid solutions. Smart Wi-Fi is a powerful tool and solution which enables you to connect and engage with your customers, and again get to know them better. With Smart Wi-Fi, you can have full control of your Wi-Fi hotspot to promote your products and services. Utopia, that's something we're focusing on today, and we'll be talking in more detail as we go along. And I have also prepared a demonstration to talk you through or walk you through the different feature sets within Utopia. But Utopia basically it provides a density and capacity rich service for mobile users to connect to public and private Wi-Fi networks simply and securely. Tab Install is a very easy to use, secure, and remotely managed MDM solution for your clients and employees. It's fully GDPR compliant and enables you to remotely modify your corporate tablet settings, including applications, wallpapers, standby time, and even send out customized messages as and when you like to the fleet of your to your fleet of tablets. Smilin offers a new experience to your customers by allowing them to order and pay directly from their smartphones. There's a lot more I can talk about Smilin and each of these solutions, to be honest. But I will be doing series of these videos, video clips on each of these solutions where I'll talk in more detail about each of them. But for today, we are focusing on Utopia. Um, like I said before, Ucopia provides a high density service for mobile users to connect to public and private guest access Wi Fi networks simply and securely. When it comes to security, we take security very seriously over here at Weblib because we know weak security can lead to revenue loss, and revenue loss can lead to bad reputation. We've seen that over the course of the past few years with different companies and different sectors. We use radius authentication certificates with TLS intercepts and other advanced encryption standards as part of our security portfolio. You can configure some firewall-like features also, for example, URL filtering, port control, and standard ACLs, access control lists, to control the traffic. Ucopia comes in different shapes and sizes. If I have time, I can cover the different shapes and sizes a little later on, or if not, the biggest box is capable of up to 50,000 concurrent users at one time, and you can have up to four of these in a single HA cluster solution. So, in other words, you can have 200,000 concurrent user sessions in a single solution. architecture, UCOPIA can be deployed in two different modes, inline and out of band. Inline is basically when we deploy UCOPIA in between your access points and your edge router to the internet. So all of the internet bound traffic flows through directly through the UCOPIA, and out of band is when all the internet bound traffic does not flow through UCOPIA. UCOPIA is only used for authentication, for radius, and for captive portal and these kind of things only. Okay, moving on. UCOPIA philosophy. This is an interesting slide because all of this that's on this slide I will be covering in my demonstration. But I'll go through it anyways. For example, when a user connects to an SSID, they choose the authentication method. Now, depending on the authentication method chosen, the user will get assigned a profile, this profile, which will configure, and I'll show you in my demonstration how to configure that and the different settings within this profile. The profile will be configured according to the types of users that connect to it, basically. So, for example, you've got guests and corporate types users. You've got these two different types of user groups. You need to configure the profile according to each user group. Each zone can so so once you've created the profile, that profile needs to be linked to a subnet via a zone. Zone is a setting or or a tab within the profile. I'll show you in a second, but that's what will be used to connect to the subnets or the SSIDs or the networks or the user groups, should I say. Now, each of these user groups will be assigned or can have their own visual models, captive portals. All of that I will show you in a second. And these other things, these are all the settings that come under profile. For example, the URL filtering, data volume, validity, quality of service, all of that I will cover in my demonstration. Here you see a captive portal, an example of a captive portal where you have three different types of user groups: VIPs, visitors, and staff. Each of these user groups can have or can be configured with different access rights to the internet, different bandwidth limitations, and of course, different rights to or different access to the URL filtering. And most importantly, each of these user groups can have different captive portals, different visual models. Okay, before I start the demo, I just want to show you all a network diagram as part of the scenario. Here you see three different networks or SSIDs that connect to an AP, which connects to UCOPIA, and then connection out to the internet through this router. It's a simple diagram, nothing too technical for the not too technical audiences. But one thing to bear in mind is what I've mentioned in the past, that our UCOPIA device does not recognize the SSIDs, but instead it recognizes the VLAN tags. So each of the user groups, for example, VIP, guests, corporate, will need to be tagged with a VLAN number for the UCOPIA to identify which user group they belong to, and pass it off and assign a profile according to it. Okay, moving to the demo. Here is the dashboard or the front page of the UCOPIA controller. The first thing we want to do is to look at the incoming networks. So these are the three incoming networks. So if you relate back to the network diagram which I've just shown you, the three different types of user groups, VIP, guest, and corporate, are assigned a VLAN number, a unique VLAN number dedicated to them, and then a network subnet assigned to each of them as well. Each of these subnets are different, so they will be getting given as different IP address from these different networks. Now, how do you link these incoming networks to a profile? Now, so for profiles, You go under management, profiles, and then here I have already configured 3 different types of profiles. You see here, if we look at the guest profile here, if we go through this, first of all, you've got the access rights to the different types of applications. For example, you can allow this set of user group. So in this case, for guests, I have allowed these 4 applications to be allowed. Next, we have the validity time. So here you can control at which time of the day or which days the guest user group will have access to this profile. Then we have zones. Zones is what, if you relate back to the philosophy slide, which I should shown you some time back. So here we have the 3 different types of networks, incoming networks. Yeah. So we had the 3 different types: VIP, corporate, and guest. Now here I've added guests, so all of the users that connect to or are coming via the incoming networks onto the guest network, they will be assigned this profile. Moving on, we've got other settings here. For example, lock the user account with their recorded equipment, so you can control all of that here. There's a lot you can do here. Web traffic, for example, is the URL filtering that you can configure on Ucopia. So you've got the different categories here on the right hand side. You can choose which ones you want allowed, and then everything else denied. So all of these that you see here is what's allowed, and anything else is disallowed. You can of course change this as well, so you can set all of the ones that are listed here to deny, and then anything else allowed. So you can change that and configure that according to how you want it, basically. Just a side note here on the available categories. These categories are updated on regular basis, and the updates provided to us by University of Toulouse, whom we work with, and they provide to us the updates on each of these categories on regular basis, and we then pass or push out these updates on each of these categories to all of the controllers which we have deployed. So they're always up to date. Then we have password control, bandwidth limitation. So you can set the bandwidth here, for example, 2 gig, 3 gig, whatever bandwidth you want to set to each user group. To each user, so every time a user connects to this profile, they'll be assigned this much bandwidth, after which they will be logged out or will be asked to purchase more bandwidth. And then we have other advanced settings here as well. One thing to bear in mind is that all of this data that we collect is, again, fully GDPR compliant. And all of this is your data. So we can export all of this data. So you can download all of this data from these users, connecting to these APs, all the data that we've collected in our log aggregation platform, you can download from the portal. Or if you want to integrate that data, or that data to be sent to a third party CRM system, for example, we can offload all of that data to a third party CRM system with just a single API call. That's not an issue. We can do that. Next, we move on to the visual models, the captive portals. So I just want to show you that quickly. So here is how we link the different types of user groups or different types of profiles to the visual models. Now you could do all of that here. I wouldn't go through that in detail, but I just wanted to show you some of the examples of these visual models. So for example, if I start off by showing you this, apologies. Here you can see an example of a visual model of one of our customer for whom we've customized their portal with a slideshow of pictures in the background, and on the main bit, the main body of the text of the page, we've included different buttons here for the different offers. You can choose from the different languages here. You can always add new languages, remove these languages as in how you see fit. Included a welcome message, the different types of connection login methods. So they can log in with any of the social media logins, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, stuff like that, or simply by username and password. And also, one thing that's not on here is if they want, they can also register as well. So you can add another button here for them to register. And this logo you see here at the bottom, Utopia, that can be changed and to anything you like for your company, for your business. I'll just show you one more, for example. You can customize it exactly how you want it. For example, this one here is for a voucher login. So the customer, the user inserts their voucher login here, and that gives them connection that way. Different options. So you can customize it how you want basically. Next, I want to show you another feature of Ucopia, which is the delegation tool. Let's log in quickly. So once I've logged in here, for example, you can uh, you become the administrator to create multiple user accounts for your users. For example, if you're a hotel, if you're a hotel receptionist and you get guests coming in that you want to hand out the login details for them to be able to connect to the guest Wi-Fi, you can control that through here. You can use that through here. So here, for example, when creating a user, you assign the different types of profiles you want to give to them. So, for example, if there's a guest coming into your hotel, you give them guests, you assign them guest profile access here. Uh, you take all of these details down for them, create their username. The username can be created automatically as well. So, for example, Asad. Um, it is the other way around, isn't it? Okay, last name first, Munir to Asad. So here you can see it's automatically generated login and also password as well, and you can opt to add a company name here as well. You can also create bulks of user as well, multiple user accounts. So, for example, if you've got many guests or many users coming in for whom you need to create different profiles and different access, you can control that here. So, for example, come through here. So, add in five. Oops. One is five here. And then validity time. So it'll take you through all of that. I won't go through all of this only because the time doesn't allow. But I just wanted to show you this, that there is a feature called Delegation Portal through which you can create multiple user accounts for the guests or for VIPs or corporate, however you want. Okay, that is that. And lastly, I wanted to show you the monitoring aspects of this. So, for example, under monitoring tab, you can see live data, real-time data sessions, DHCP leases, for example, controllers, all of that data. And then also under user logs, you can see sessions, the amount of traffic in the dashboard. Unfortunately, for this demonstration purpose, I don't have any data, but you'll be able to see all of that through here. The URLs, for example, all of the URLs will be listed here that users are accessing and denied or allowed, permitted. So all of that you can see here, all of the system logs, and all of this. Like I said, this is your data. All of this data is collected and can be pushed out to your third-party SOC SIEM or third-party CRM system. All of this can be done. Okay, this is it from from me for today for this video on Ucopia. Like I mentioned before, I will be doing series of videos or more videos on the other solutions, smart Wi-Fi, Smile In, and Tab Install. So keep a lookout for those. And yeah, thank you for watching, and see you next time. Cheers, bye.